Thank you, Madam Speaker. A speaker who just speak before me thought about budget need to ease the suffering, but he fails to forget that under the APNUFC, the then government imposed more taxes on the people of Guyana that create the suffering, and also ban used tires where the ordinary people cannot afford the new tires, which only the high-class ministers who receive 50% increase salary could afford the new tires, and have the low ordinary person suffer. That's the suffering you brought to the people of Guyana by banning the used tires. And there are many more, but because of time, I would not go into details. Mr. Speaker, Honorable MP boasts about projects in Region 1, but he fails to realize even if he did that project, the people of Region 1 and Guyanese vote them out to sit in the opposition side to it, and they will always remain there forever and ever and ever. Mr. Speaker, we know we're in few months away from election, and the APNUFC is making wild promises which they will not fulfill. If they cannot fulfill their 50% increase to public servants and pensioners, how can you fulfill $1 million to the ordinary people of Guyana? That is impossible, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so as I rise to make my contribution to Budget 2025, much has been said by my colleagues, but I want to firstly commend Honorable Dr. 𝐁𝐔𝐃𝐆𝐄, Senior Minister of Finance and Staff, for presenting one budget for all Guyanese as one Guyana, a budget for young and old, a budget for every category, regardless of who you are. Mr. Speaker, the leadership of the People's Progressive Party civic government since taking office has been working tirelessly to achieve prosperity for all Guyanese. Mr. Speaker, achieving prosperity for all Guyanese has been the ideal pursuit of the People's Progressive Party civic government, and is resolute to deliver its promises to every Guyanese. The PPPC government over the last 4 years has implemented such a system, such a plan for all Guyanese, and for the first people, the Amerindians, so that they can have their disposable income at their disposal, so that we can become stronger year by year. We have seen this, Madam Speaker, we have seen these transformational changes in every town, every villages across Guyana, and everyone has a share of Guyana's wealth as we move our country to a secure, prosperous, and sustainable Guyana. Madam Speaker, my contribution on Budget 2025 will more be on contrast. Honorable members on the opposition bench, over the last budget debate has been speaking on the budget not being people-centered, lack of equity, lack of equality, and so on. But lest we forget that under their government, 2015 to 2020, which they are not happy to hear, the period, their budget was self-centered, where they increased their minister's salary 50% in 100 days in office after making empty promises, not only to the public servants, but to our elderly people, but to the Guyanese population also, a good life for all Guyanese. In contrast, Madam Speaker, the PPPC government since taking office in latter part of 2020 to now has delivered, fulfilled, implement programs and policies to all Guyanese across the country, from coastland to the hinterland. Mr. Speaker, my time is allotted to me will not give me chance to speak on every developmental agenda in the hinterland, but allow me to give some of the contrasts that the PPPC government has delivered. Mr. Speaker, in 2015, APNUFC come to the youths and tell them, I have a poster here, youths, it's time for vote for job. Coincidentally, there's a poster at the bottom, nothing to laugh about, but there's a shame on the APNUFC. Vote, youths, it's time for vote for job, but they come to us, to the youths, that says, It says the government cannot provide jobs, but emphasis to sell plantain chip and cook up rice. Mr. Speaker, the youths can now feel relief and feel secured under the People's Progressive Party CIVIC. Mr. Speaker, the People's Progressive Party CIVIC government, since taking office, it reintroduced Community Support Officers Program immediately, and to date, over 2,700 youths across the country is benefiting from this initiative. That the CSO program has been increased by 50% to support village council, from 10 to 15 CSOs in villages. And Mr. Speaker, and further, Mr. Speaker, the government has increased their stipend 33.3%. I know the opposition will have a problem in calculation, but it is from $30,000 to $40,000 for the CSOs. Mr. Speaker, Amerindian development is vital to the PPPC government. And so, Madam Speaker, the government of Guyana, through Low Carbon Development Strategy 2030, has significantly injected in 2013 15% and in 2024 26.5% of carbon credit into over 220 Amerindian villages, which resulted over $9.5 billion for the sustainable project in their respective village. Here are a few pictures of the project that is being undertaken by villages under the LCD's carbon credit. These are the facts that I'm showing so that you will not say where and how it's being spent. Mr. Speaker, the APNU-AFC, upon assuming office in 2015 to 2020, give 0% towards Amerindian Development Program under their Green State Development Strategy, which was fruitless, visionless, and under the incompetent APNU-AFC government. Mr. Speaker, communication technology in the hinterland was a major challenge in Amerindian villages. And today, as I speak, I would like to commend the Prime Minister and staff of the Office of the Prime Minister, by extension the People's Progressive Party CIVIC government, for delivering high-speed internet in the villages where the youth, CSOs, community can enjoy free Wi-Fi to communicate to their families. Not only to communicate, Madam Speaker, but we have CPC trainees, trainee nurses are pursuing their studies online from home from this government free Wi-Fi initiative. And I have here youth using the free Wi-Fi, the CSOs, they're using the free Wi-Fi. Not only one, but we have 20 laptops, 20 youths using this free Wi-Fi. Madam Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the well-being of our people is paramount to the People's Progressive Party CIVIC government. To date, Guyana's government has trained a number of CHWs in the hinterland and nurses and midwives serving their respective village. There are more than one CHWs, medics, midwives, serving the people through health services. Madam Speaker, the government has invested huge budget to improve health facilities across the country, including Bartica and Kamrang District Hospital, where the People's Progressive Party CIVIC has constructed surgical theater, and the first time in Upper Mazruni in 2024, there were 37 surgeries successfully performed at Kamrang District Hospital. That brings relief to patients. They were treated and sent home than to travel to Georgetown Public Hospital from their families. Mr. Speaker, the communication in health sector has improved in the hinterland. The health personnel from health facilities can now communicate to their supervisors and seek advice on patients using telemedicine in Amerindian villages, including villages in Upper Mazruni. As of yesterday, telemedicine was installed in the village of Kako, where Honorable Don Hastings resides. So we have a telemedicine in Kako recently installed by the Ministry of Health. Mr. Speaker, I now turn to education. Apart from all infrastructure development in education sector, where new secondary school will be built in the hinterland, 2 secondary schools in Upper Mazruni, Region 7 will be built in Jawala and in Philippi to minimize overcrowding at Desiree Cesar Fox Secondary School. Madam Speaker, the PPPC government has restored and incrementally increased Because We Care cash grant program after the APNU-AFC squashed the program and take away disposable income from the school children and their parents that affects families who were unfortunate to maintain their school children for some reason. Today, the parents of all school children feel relief because their disposable income has increased incrementally. Madam Speaker, for the viewers to understand the track record of two governments, let me present to this House bar graph, because apparently the opposition seem not to understand the budget. In 2015 to 2020, in 2014, the People's Progressive Party Civic started 10,000 cash grant, and the APNUAFC squashed the program and gave the school children the $2,000 cash voucher. You see the graph? 80% reduction from $10,000 to $2,000. Deduction, decrease from $10,000 to $2,000. 80% decrease. And then PPP, People's Progressive Party Civic, took office in 2020. We started with $2,000 cash voucher, and we increased it to $15,000, 650% increase. In 2022, it increased to $25,000, 66.6%. In 2023, 40% to $35,000. In 2024, 28.5% to $45,000. And in 2025, we have 22.2%, $55,000. That's the story of the People's Progressive Party Civic. So if you want to prove, you can have your APNU graph and keep it as your record. Madam Speaker, as we turn to our national cash grant, the government has implemented measures to help citizens not only to have cash grant, but to increase their disposable income for every Guyanese since assuming office in 2020. This includes $25,000 per household to $100,000 cash grant for every household. Guyanese citizen 18 years and over. Mr. Speaker, today, Honorable Member of Parliament, Ms. Fernandes, come to this House speaking about poverty. Today, I want to inform this House and the entire nation that the cash grant distribution is still underway across the country. And of today, in Upper Mazaruni, first phase of distribution is still in progress, where 5 villages have already received their cash grant. Kako Village, $33.8 million to the pockets of our friends, family, and favorites. Kamrang, $54.7 million to the pockets of our friends, Amerindian friends, family, and favorites. Waramadang, $55 million to our Amerindian family, friends, and favorites. Prima, $31.1 million to our Amerindian friends, family, and favorites. While some yet to receive their cash grant, the PPPC government has assured that no one will be left out from this initiative. Mr. Speaker, the People's Progressive Party Civic Government has shown to the Guyanese population their competence in delivering their promises. The AFC has come with a slogan, better must come. AFC is coming with a better must come, but I want to tell you, the opposition, you better don't come here, because Guyana is progressing fast under the leadership of People's Progressive Party Civic Government. I'll make use of my time, so I'll take my time, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Member,
Madam Speaker,
to conclude, you will need 5 minutes.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, I would like to ask that the honourable member be given 5 minutes to conclude his presentation.
Thank you. Go ahead, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I encourage the opposition to use their conscience, like their former PNC comrade, who publicly say, and I quote from some of the experts, "The One Guyana initiative is not only a mere promise, it is actively working to build a more cohesive nation." a group within our population, are benefiting from increased access to nation's wealth. There has been a notable effort for fostering young entrepreneurs, enhancing sporting and cultural facilities, and providing seed capital for small businesses. The desire for progress is at the heart of the leadership of the People's Progressive Party civic government. I urge all Guyanese, regardless of race, political affiliation, or any other factor, to support the People's Progressive Party civic. Give them the mandate to serve our great country for another term. So, Mr. Speaker, with all being said, I ask the members of the opposition bench to look our track record and join me and commend and support Budget 2025 to be passed, stronger together for a better Guyana. Thank you very much.